Now that we have started 2025, the official Rise of Kingdoms Facebook page has revealed the skills for King Arthur. The highly anticipated cavalry commander is going to be coming into the game very shortly, and reality will kick in. Now, this commander has the potential to definitely change the current meta that we have in this game. The cavalry have been lacking an AoE commander for some time. The last time we saw a solid AoE commander was the XY release. Now, finally, things are about to change. So if you are a cavalry player, get keen, guys. And if you are not a cavalry player, now may be the time to invest. So let's take a look at his active skill. Active skill here, this is called Excalibur. This is going to be a rage requirement of 1000. So if this commander is serving as the primary commander, their troop gains the sword in the lake effect. This will launch 2 combo attacks against up to 3 enemy troops in a fan. Damage factor is 1400. Every additional target reduces the damage to each target by 15%. Now, if this commander is serving as the secondary commander, their troop gains the sword in the stone effect, dealing direct damage up to 3 enemy troops in a fan. Damage factor 2800. Every additional target reduces the damage to each target by 15%. So basically, whether he is serving as the primary or the secondary commander, this is still going to equal around about the same damage factor. So as you can see here with the top part of this description, sword in the lake effect. This is if he is serving as the primary commander. It's going to launch this attack 2 times. So this will act as a combo attack 2 times, equaling 2800 damage factor. And then if he is serving as the secondary commander, the damage factor will still be 2800. However, this will be counted as a skill damage. Now, this is really, really fantastic news for a lot of players, because a lot of players at this time that haven't been able to invest in the Delta formation yet at this stage. If you are one of the lucky players who has invested in Delta formation, then go ahead and use him as the primary commander. But I'm really appreciating the fact that the developers have made him usable as a primary or a secondary commander. It doesn't matter whichever way you want to do it. You can definitely use him even as if you only have the wedge formation. He's definitely going to be usable as a secondary commander. Now, we are going to talk about some of the commander pairing options later on in the video, but for now, let's get into the second skill here so we can go through the rest of these skills first. Now, moving on to number 2, we have Y Drag Gotch. I don't know how to say that correctly. This is the second skill here. So this commander's cavalry units gain 20% march speed. That is fantastic for the field. If this commander's troop is attacking a field troop, their cavalry units also gain 30% attack and 20% health. So this guy is really full of stats right now. Now, guys, also keep in mind here that we know with the infantry smite commanders, attack is already useful for smite damage. Now, is the attack also going to prove just as useful for the combo attack? That is my theory, because we can actually see here in the third skill. We're just going to skip this section for now. We'll come back to this. It says here down below, combo attack damage is affected by bonuses to normal damage. Combo attacks can trigger any effect triggered by basic attacks. Example, whenever this commander's troop launches or is hit by a basic attack, but they will not trigger counter attacks. So basically, this is really, really cool, guys, because we know already that attack is really boosting the smite damage for infantry commanders. So the fact that this is now boosted by normal damage as well, the combo attack being boosted by normal damage, tells me that this extra attack up here is going to be quite useful. And it is also interesting that we just had a Zenith of Power release with a new generation of stats, a 20% cavalry attack. So if you are one of the lucky players who managed to get that Zenith of Power, this is going to be a very nice time to test out King Arthur on the field with that extra attack bonus. And something tells me that that is going to be very useful for combo attack. Okay, now moving on to the third skill here, we have the Scabbard of Avalon. If this commander is serving as primary commander, their troop gains the Scabbard of the Lake effect, granting it a 10% bonus to combo attack damage. If this commander is serving as secondary commander, their troop gains the Scabbard of the Stone effect, granting it a 10% bonus to skill damage. If their troop is attacking a field troop, these damage bonuses are multiplied by 3. Wow. Okay, that is really, really cool, guys. So basically, this is telling me, again, there is no consequence whether you are going to use King Arthur as a primary commander going for that combo attack bonus. You can definitely do that because this skill here is going to complement that a lot. However, you can also use him as a secondary commander. And instead of using the combo attack synergy, it will utilize the existing skill damage. This is amazing, guys. We have not seen this kind of synergy before. I think even with the release of the Smite commanders for infantry, there was not this kind of synergy. This kind of synergy did not exist. Now, looking back at the original commanders that were released in the Smite era of infantry, we had Liu Qi. Yes, he's a great commander. He can pair well with Scipio. However, was there any skill there that allowed you to switch that smite damage to skill damage? No, there was not. And it wasn't really until the release of William Wallace, who was the second open field smite damage commander, that's when you truly could see Liu Qi utilize all of those smite damage abilities. But now we're seeing the developers releasing King Arthur, who have completely backtracked on that idea, that whole idea of releasing a new mechanic into the game. They are doing it. They're doing it very well in the fact that you can choose between combo attack or skill damage. So this is really cool, guys. Basically seems like if you are a cavalry player, investing in that Delta formation right now is a great thing to do. But they are going to give us time to do so. So this is very much appreciated. As a player who has invested in multiple different formation types, I feel quite happy with this idea. Moving on to the fourth skill here, Merlin's Magic. If this commander's troop is attacking a field troop, whenever it launches a combo attack or deals direct damage, it has a 30% chance to reduce the target's rage by 100 every second for the next 2 seconds. The cooldown is 5 seconds. Whenever it uses an active skill, it gains 30% march speed for 3 seconds. Okay, so a rage reduction. Again, this is really nice. We have seen other commanders such as William Wallace having a rage reduction as part of the smite tree. So if you are a player with bringing a lot of marches to the field, the more rage that you can reduce from the enemy, that's going to stop them from using their active skills faster. So this is really cool. It's going to have some nice synergy with the other commanders that you may already have in your existing lineup. Also allowing you to have that extra march speed to retreat when necessary. So far, this is looking like a very nice commander. And we are going to now look at the expertise skill here, the Mab Darugan. If this commander is serving as the primary commander, their troop gains the Light of the Lake effect. Whenever their troop launches a basic attack, it has a 50% chance to launch one extra combo attack, and the damage factor is 300. This effect can trigger multiple times per second, each time it triggers in a single second. Its chance to trigger is reduced to 50% of the previous trigger chance, and the cooldown is 10 seconds here. If this commander is serving as the secondary commander, their troop gains the Light of the Stone effect. Whenever their troop deals direct damage, it has a 25% chance to deal additional damage every second for 1 second to all targets of the direct damage. Damage factor equals 50% of the direct damage's damage factor. Now keep in mind, guys, this direct damage, that actually means skill damage. So if you have that skill damage bonus, that's what that means right there at the bottom. Now again, the fact that you can use him as the primary or the secondary commander, very nice. I like this a lot. I am going to be honest though, I think that having him as the primary commander and possibly gaining that ability to have that extra combo attack could be quite useful. That does seem like a little bit of a better option, which kind of makes sense in a way. They are releasing a new commander utilizing a new mechanic here. So obviously, if you do have the ability to use him in that new mechanic, that could be a nice way to use that extra combo attack. Now that we have covered the skills for this highly anticipated cavalry commander that is going to be releasing in the game very shortly, guys, we have the new update that will be releasing, I think, next week. So we could be seeing these skills in the game as soon as next week. Let's get a closer look here at the teaser for the new combo talent tree, and they have shown us 4 different talents here, and these are very unique talents that are new in the game, never seen before. We have seen the release of the Smite tree with William Wallace in recent releases, and now we have the combo talent tree as well. So talent number 1, Blizzard of Blows. Whenever this commander's troop launches any type of basic attack, it has a 10% chance to reduce the target's troop's health by 1.5% for 3 seconds. And this can stack up to 5 times. Multiple troops can stack this effect against the same target. So it looks like if this stacks up to 5 times, you can reduce the target's health to up to 7.5%. Now the second talent here, No Quarter. Whenever this commander's troop launches any type of combo attack, it gains 15 rage. So any kind of skill here that's going to give you extra rage is quite nice. Now we do know that there are some similar talents in other trees that do give rage, but the fact that this is now replacing the skill damage tree is still giving us that extra rage is nice. Now the third talent here, Force of Nature. Whenever this commander's troop launches any type of basic attack, it has a 10% chance to gain a 3% bonus to damage dealt for 3 seconds. Cooldown is 5 seconds. So we also know that the combo attack is basically going to activate every time you have a basic attack. And it can multiply as well. So this is a nice talent to use with the Delta formation. And then the fourth talent that has been teased here, this looks like this is going to be the final one in this tree. Whenever this commander's troop launches a combo attack, it has a 10% chance to launch an extra combo attack and the damage factor is 250. And this will also be boosted by the normal damage bonuses. So there is the information that we have so far for King Arthur, guys, who is going to be releasing into the game shortly. Let's take a look in game, where we are going to discuss some potential commander pairing options for King Arthur, guys. So let's get the cavalry up on the list. Now, the first commander here, we have Huo Qubing. A lot of players are already utilizing this commander. Now, just to give you guys a quick look, okay, what I wanted to look at here, he is giving extra attack, so that's nice. That is going to also work well with King Arthur's 30% attack. There's a high amount of damage factor with a 30% skill damage bonus. So what I would suggest here, if you are going to utilize the wedge formation, I would suggest using Huo Qubing as the primary, because obviously when you use him as the secondary anyway, his damage factor does get halved. So we want to continue using him as the primary commander. And then King Arthur, with that 2,800 damage factor, that is also going to be skill damage because he's the secondary commander, will then be boosted by 30%. So I think this is going to have some nice synergy with, and quite possibly this could be the highest damage dealing open field commander that we have seen. The Huo Qubing paired with King Arthur. That is an insane amount of damage factor. 2,700 plus 2,800 with the 30% skill damage bonus. So that is option number one. Now, the second option that I can think of here at the top of my head, okay, we're just going to skip Nevsky and Belisarius for the moment. I wanted to take a look at Joan of Arc, okay, because as mentioned earlier, guys, the cavalry have really been lacking a good AoE damage dealing commander for quite some time. Now, really, in the recent releases, all we've seen is Joan of Arc here. She is dealing some amount of AoE damage, but it's not a massive amount of AoE damage. She is dealing 2,000 AoE up to 3 enemy troops in a fan shape, okay? So she is also getting extra rage. So again, I think this is going to have some nice synergy with King Arthur. Now, also, as mentioned earlier, with the new combo attack damage, this will be affected by normal damage bonuses. So with that in mind, guys, we basically want to pair King Arthur. If you're using King Arthur as the primary commander and you're utilizing that new combo attack mechanic in the game, you definitely want to go for an option that is boosting the normal damage. Now, we can see here in Joan's second skill, while outside of Alliance territory, their cavalry units get an extra 10% march speed and deal 5% more normal damage. So this normal damage is going to boost your combo attack damage as well from King Arthur. And then it gets better, guys, because in the third skill, you can see here, if this commander's troop is attacking another troop on the map, whenever their troop uses an active skill, it gains a 30% bonus to normal damage dealt for the next 1 second. So the reason why this is so cool as well is we already read most of the skills from King Arthur require you to be attacking an enemy troop on the map. And so does Joan of Arc. She has always typically been an open field commander. This skill requiring you to attack an enemy troop on the map. So that is going to work really well with King Arthur, utilizing those two commanders for field fighting. And she is boosting with this skill, with this third skill, plus this second skill here, she's going to boost that normal damage by up to 35%, which translates to 35% extra combo attack damage. You got two options really here, in my opinion. Two options at the top of my head for pairing with King Arthur. You can use Hero Cubing as the primary commander, and then King Arthur as the secondary. We know this is going to be probably the highest amount of skill damage that you can deal right now in the game. Not to mention, this is also AoE damage as well. And it's boosted by an extra 30% from Hero Cubing's skills. Now, the second option here, if you are someone who has invested in the Delta formation, is you would want to use King Arthur as the primary commander and then pair King Arthur with Joan of Arc, who is going to boost that normal damage by up to 35%, which will translate directly to the extra combo attack damage. So guys, there is my theory on the options for the best pairings for King Arthur. So guys, this is going to wrap up the video now. I hope that you enjoyed this information and you are excited as much as I am for the release of King Arthur, who we will be seeing in-game in just over a week's time. Now, if you haven't already, guys, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And be sure to keep your eye out for some upcoming live streams next week where 2581 will be entering into Kingsland. And before that, we will have our Zone 7 battle. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you all are doing well. And until then, I will see you guys on the battlefield.